ما شاء الله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين المنتخبين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا ورحمة الله على أحبابهم وأصحابهم وشيعتهم ومواليهم أجمعين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم وظالميهم ملعونين من يوم عداوتهم وظلمهم إلى أبد الآبدين صلوا على محمد وآل محمد Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for inviting me again. It is so good to see you all again and such bright faces. Your faces look even brighter today than the last time I saw them. MashaAllah, recite aloud salawat. It is very important for a Shia, when he claims to be a Shia, to show with his actions that he is a Shia. Imam says, Shi'atuna kunu lana zayna wa la takunu alayna shayna. That all our Shi'as become ornaments for us, become the source of praise for us, and do not become the reason of disgrace for us. This word Zayna and the word Shayna, it indicates the element of action. Just by believing in Imam is not enough. You have to show with your actions that he is your Imam. Imam is the one who is forward, and you follow that Imam. Him being in front of you makes him your Imam. You keep him in front, that makes him your Imam. You follow him, that makes you his Shia. So Imam and Shia. He will not be your Imam if you do not follow. If I'm praying here, I'm standing here, and behind me there are a few people who are praying, I will be their Imam in Salah, and they are close to me and following me. They can call me their Imam in Salah. But if there is a person standing far away, not connected with this jama'ah, he cannot call me his imam. He is not following, because he's not following the imam. Just like that, on the day of judgment, people will claim on the day of judgment that our imam was Ali ibn Abi Talib. Why have we been raised with Fulan and Fulan? Why have we been categorized with these sinners? And the answer will come that you claimed that Ali ibn Abi Talib was your imam, but with your actions, what you showed and what the world saw and what we have as an evidence here is your amal. With your actions, you followed shaitan, you followed Iblis. So just the claim that you are Shia is a good claim. Everyone should have that. But it is worth nothing if you do not provide proof and evidence. I know and believe that if I am thirsty, I should drink water. That is a belief. That is a theory. But it will only work if I actually pick up the glass and take a sip of water. But I am on the right path because I have the right knowledge. Keep that in mind. Because I believe that if I'm thirsty, water is the thing that will quench my thirst. Understand? Not eating sand. If I have this false belief, this is the second scenario, keep that in mind as well. If I have this false belief that if I am thirsty, to quench my thirst, I should pick up sand and put it in my mouth and eat it. I believe it and then I follow it. I believe that and then I will follow. That will also not quench my thirst. And just believing that water will quench my thirst and not actually doing it will not quench my thirst. The only scenario where I get rid of this thirst is when I actually pick up the glass and take a sip, drink that water. So there are people who do not believe in the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, and they think something else or someone else will lead them to Jannah. It is like eating sand and hoping that thirst will go away. And those who believe that Ali is their imam and they believe in the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayh, and do not show it through their actions or try to provide evidence through their actions, what happens? Their mithal, their example is of the person who knows and believes that the water will quench his thirst, but he does not actually drink it. So on the day of judgment, he can claim all he wants, that he is the believer of Ali ibn Abi Talib, but what was required was to follow the footsteps of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Read loud salawat. Imam al-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi says that he and his father, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, one day entered Masjid al-Nabawi in Medina, and they saw that there were some people sitting between the mimbar and the qabr of Rasulullah. So between the mimbar and the qabr of Rasulullah, there were few individuals sitting there, a group of people sitting there. Imam alayhi salam goes to them and meets them, says, Inni wallahi uhibbu rihakum wa arwahakum. That by Allah, I love your fragrance and I love your souls. I love your fragrance and I love your souls. Amazing. What fragrance he talks about and why souls? What he sees there, zahiran, are their ajsam, but he talks about what? Soul. I love your souls. He doesn't say I love you. He says I love your souls and I love your fragrance. Okay. We have this body, and we have had discussions about body and soul so much that people are getting bored, but I'm just gonna, one hint. This body, eat, drink, and the body becomes healthy. As beard, if it grows too much, cut it off, trim it off, shave a little, make it look nice. Eyebrows, plucking, and their business, not our business. Putting on makeup, perfume, attar and everything. You walk into a majlis or somewhere, people look at you, they see that this is a healthy man who takes care of himself. Food, drink, and nice clothes, and you make your body look nice to people. So this is something that you do for your body. Just like this, your soul also has an appearance. Also has an appearance. And it has the form of sustenance as well. There is a source of energy for that soul as well. It is not food. It is not naan. It is not rice, not barbecue. For that soul, and it is also not music. Now please keep that in mind. That soul requires something compatible to its nature. When we perform a good deed, it strengthens the soul. When we do something wajib, it strengthens the soul. When we do something mustahab, it decorates the soul. There is appearance of this body where you put makeup on and you pluck your eyebrows and you do trimming of your beard, and then you color your beard and you put on fragrances and everything. This soul, when you perform your wajibat, this soul is strengthened. When you perform your mustahabbat, this soul is then decorated, makeup. And with your different a'mal, mustahabbat, good deeds, you bring fragrance for this soul as well. So Imam alayhi salam, when walks up to these people, his sight goes straight to the depth of their souls. And what he's trying to say, in my opinion, that I love what you have done with your souls. And this smell, this fragrance, wallah, I love it. We meet each other, oh, I love what you've done with your hair. That happens. That's what Imam is saying, that I have loved what you have done with your souls. What does he see? Does he see the souls that are weak and in miserable conditions and wounds everywhere? No. He sees souls that are smiling on the inside and they are healthy and nur is coming out of them and the fragrance that can be sensed on the seventh heaven. That is what he feels. A person like me, we committing sins and rubbish akhlaq and not care about what the teachings of Islam are. We do wajibat, then we don't do wajibat. We do mustahabbat, and then we hate mustahabbat. And all these things, you know, we pick our choices. If we feel like it, we do it. When we don't feel like it, we don't do it. This ruh becomes affected because we do not do that with our food. If it is breakfast time, I need breakfast. If it is lunchtime, I need lunch. If it is dinner time, I need dinner. I would like some water. I would like some tea. I would like something to drink, juice, Coke. I don't go easy when it comes to my food. But when it comes to the sustenance and the food of my soul, I don't have any worries. Fajr Salah, it missed, oh, I'll do the qada later on. Thank you very much for doing the qada later on, but doing it on time has its own benefits. Pray Dhuhr, pray Asr, don't pray Dhuhr, don't pray Asr. Pray Maghrib, pray Isha, no nawafil, okay, it's not wajib, don't do it, okay. We don't realize that there is the effect that it has on your soul. When you don't perform your wajibat, the soul is weakened. Let alone doing the mustahabbat, you know. It is weakened and weakened and weakened, and on top of it, this poor, weak, miserable soul is then tortured with the sinning. I commit sins. I am backbiting, I am lying. With my eyes, with my ears, I'm committing sins. With my tongue, rubbish, akhlaq. All these sins, I'm torturing my soul with it. So what do we have now? We have a weak, frail, about to die soul inside us. When I say we, I say I. Okay, don't worry about it. You guys are good people. Recite aloud salawat. So what I have when I say weak, I have a weak soul, frail, and on top of it, it's bleeding from everywhere. I have sinned so much that the soul is bleeding, the bones are broken, the skin is torn apart. Long story short, shredded into pieces. And on top of it, the stench of my bad, dark deeds. When you do it too much, it releases this certain stench. The wounds are not taken care of. I inflict wound on my soul, and then I do not put any sort of solution or medicine on or band-aid on top of it. I let it rot. What happens when the wound gets rotten? It starts to smell. There is pus in there. The same thing, metaphorically speaking, happens to the soul as well. The wounds you have inflicted 20 years ago, you have put no bandage on top of it. You have not fixed it in any way. You have not consulted anyone who would have that knowledge how to fix it. You have let it rot. It has been rotting for 20 years. What do you think now the situation is? And it is not just one wound, it is in, 1,000 per day? Or 100 per day? Let's say 1 per day. We have not healed it. And you all know how we heal those wounds. How do we heal those wounds? Come on. How do we heal those wounds? Istighfar. Seeking forgiveness. The moment we seek forgiveness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fixes that wound and makes it better. And you're healed. The soul is healed, happy again. The soul is healed. So if I am not taking care of my soul, inflicting wounds, and they've been there for a long time, and all of a sudden in walks Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman, Ajjal Allah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. See, in walks His Eminence. What does he see in me? Let's say he won't be saying, Inni uhibbu wallahi rihakum wa arwahakum. He will turn away and he will not want to look at my soul because it is in a very miserable condition and it oozes terrible stench. You understand? So when I read this, Inni wallahi uhibbu rihakum wa arwahakum, these lucky people to be told those things by the Imam of their time in the presence of another Imam, Allahu Akbar. And even to them Imam says, but be sure that you keep helping me with taqwa and continuous effort. Taqwa and continuous effort. Protect yourself and keep going. Do not give up. So it is our responsibility, if we claim to be Shi'as, we need to protect our souls because they, at the end, they matter. The soul matters. On the day of judgment, this soul will emit nur. Nur, these people will be sitting on the right side of Arsh on the day of judgment. A group of people on the right side of Arsh on mimbars made of nur. They will be sitting there, happy, smiling, beautiful faces. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib will look at them and then turn to Rasulullah and will say, Man ha'ula? Who are these people? And Rasulullah will reply, Shi'atuna. And then he will say, Wa anta ya Ali imamuhum. Our Shi'as, these are our Shi'as, and you, O Ali, you are their Imam. Dua Nudba, you recite Dua Nudba? You should, at least. It's a good thing. Maybe a part of it. I know it's a long one, so the hadith is mentioned in there. شيعتك على منابر من نور. Number one, min nur, manabira min nur. The first thing they will be sitting on the member made of nur. Mubiyaddatan wujuhuhum. Mubiyaddatan wujuhuhum. They will have bright faces. Hawli fil jannah. They will be around me in Jannah. Wahum jirani. They will be my neighbors. Rasulullah says, these people, the Shia, your Shia, Ya Ali, they will be my neighbors. Have I taken too much time? What time is it? Recite aloud salawat. 7:58. We've done half an hour? Okay. Maybe a few more minutes and then we will move on to Musibah, inshallah. I hope I'm not boring you. Are you bored? Okay. How about I tell you a story? Recite aloud salawat. So Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam is sitting, it would seem, outside with his companions, and one of the companions looks up in the sky. I was in Christchurch and Brother Al-Tamash took me to one of this spot up on the mountain somewhere. I don't know the name of the place, but you could see the Milky Way and there were so many stars. That was amazing. You should go there. So now we have lights and technology everywhere, and it has messed up the view. You don't see as many stars up there because there's too much light and reflection and whatnot. So at that time, at least, there was no such thing. So they are sitting out there, the sky seems to be clear, and one of them sees the sky and says, such beautiful nur these stars have, and they have made the sky look so beautiful. How beautiful is the nur of these stars? Imam al-Sadiq says, this is what you're saying? You say this, and on the arsh, in near arsh, there are 4 mudabbirat. Angels with responsibilities. 4 mudabbirat. Jibreel, Mikael, Israfil, and Malakul Maut. 4 mudabbirat up there. When they look down on earth, فَيَرَوْنَكُمْ وَإِخْوَانَكُمْ, when they see you and your brothers spread all across the world, and they say, how great are the anwar of these people. How great are the anwar of these people. Like you were saying, the anwar of stars. You're fascinated by them. They are very much fascinated by your anwar on earth. This is how they see you. For them, you are the stars, and you make the earth look beautiful. You make the earth look beautiful. Inshallah, we'll continue this tomorrow. There are other ahadith, the fadail of Shia. Inshallah, we'll talk more about that. This narration is a long one. I've just mentioned the first sentence. It's a long narration. I'll try to complete this tomorrow, inshallah. Our responsibility is to protect ourselves. Our responsibility is to safeguard our a'mal. Our responsibility is to make it to the finish line in one piece. Our responsibility is to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased with us. And our responsibility is to make sure that on the day of judgment, Rasulullah and Ahlulbayt alayhim salatu wassalam are not filled with sorrow when they look at us. And it is very important. They have sacrificed so much in the name of Islam, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have sacrificed so much that if they see us waste our own existences for no reason on the day of judgment, it will fill them up with sorrow when they will look at us. It was never easy for Imam al-Hussein to sacrifice a son like Ali al-Akbar. It was never easy for him to sacrifice companions like Habib, Zuhair, Muslim and Burair, John, and all the other companions. It was never easy for him to let Qasim go, let Aun Muhammad go. It was never easy for him to tell Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, okay, take that canteen with you and go bring some water. It was never easy for him to just stand there in the sand, in the land and plains of Karbala, alone. His lips are dried, not just dried, being torn apart because of the dryness. Hasn't had a sip of water in 3 days. Just stands there, looks at the water in the river, and then he rubs his tongue on the lips. Then he looks at Ashqiya and turns around and looks at the tents, thinking of Mukhaddarat and Banat of Rasulullah. It was never easy for him, even after knowing that there is no one to protect the Banat of Rasulullah, the daughters of Rasulullah. Even then he stood firm and fought. It was never easy for him to give life after sacrificing everything in his last moments, when he says, "Taraktul khalqa turran fi hawaka wa aitamtul ayala likay araka." I have orphaned my little children, O Allah, to see with my own eyes your rahmah. I have orphaned Sakina, I have orphaned Fatima, I have orphaned all the other children who were relying on me, all the other yatama and orphans who were relying on me. I have orphaned them all once again, only to see your rahmah, O Allah. This was never easy for him. He did all this to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah wanted this to safeguard our souls. We are sitting here, our souls. So when I see Zainab al-Kubra on the 11th of Muharram with no chadar on her head, all the other ladies around her waiting for her instructions what to do. On the 11th of Muharram there is an announcement. The person comes forward with the chains. Sayyidah Zainab sees those chains and she says, "Move away. Throw these chains to me. You go away. Nahnu wada'i'u Rasulillah. We are the amanat of Rasulullah. No stranger will touch us. Give me the chains. I will put these chains on myself." One by one, she must have put every lady in chains. Kulthum, Fatima Kubra, Sakina. I don't know where she brought the heart from when she had to put the chains on Imam al-Sajjad. A little one by one, she helps every lady to get on the back of the camel. Kulthum goes on the back of the camel. Sakina goes on the back of the camel. Fatima Kubra, Rubab, all the other ladies, one after another. And then she comes to Imam Zain al-Abidin. And she helps him get on the back of the camel. And now she stands there. نذرت يمينا وشمالا. And she looks to the right, she looks to the left. And there is no Abbas, there is no Hussein. She must have remembered when she left Medina. When she left Medina, when she came out of the house, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam rushed towards her. He held her hand, brought her forward. Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas was kneeling down, presenting his knee for her sister Zainab. Ali al-Akbar was holding the curtain of the mahmal. Qasim was grabbing the shoes of Sayyida Zainab. All were helping Sayyida. But now in Karbala, there is no rida. There is sand in the hair, tears in the eyes. She looks to the right, she looks to the left. She cannot find his Hussein. Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas is gone. Ali al-Akbar is gone. There is no Qasim. I don't know how she got on the back of the camel. Allahu Akbar. I don't want to think about it. She gets on the back of the camel. I don't know if it was the decision of Ahlulbayt or the decision of Ashqiya. I know that the camels were then taken through the maqtal. Through the maqtal, the camels go from far away. She sees a body that is filled with arrow, has no head on it. The veins are coming out and lying on the shoulders. There is no amama, there is no abba, there is no qaba, there is no dress. Wounds everywhere, filled with arrows, wounds within the wounds. She sees the body and she herself down from the back of the camel. I ask Sayyida, was it easy for you to come down from the camel with your hands tied behind your back? Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, I know your arms were cut off when you came down from the horse, but you are a man, you are a man, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Look at your sister Zainab. She has no business being on the back of the camel like that, let alone fall with her arms tied behind her back. I wonder if she lied on her head, if she came down on her head. I wonder if she fell on her right cheek or her left cheek or her chest or her back. All I know that her hands were tied and the camel was standing. Allahu Akbar. Now she starts walking, she gets up with the tears rolling, and there was this hayra in her eyes. She looks at the body. Slowly she comes close to the body. She just stands there and looking at the body. She asks this heart-wrenching question. She says, أَأَنْتَ أَخِي الْحُسَيْنِ? Are you my brother Hussein? Upon realizing the answer, she turns to Medina. She says, Ya Jadda, صلى عليك مليك السماء. Our grandfather, angels in heaven, they send salawat on you. وهذا الحسين مرمل بالدماء مسلوب العمامة والرداء مرمل بالدماء مقطع الأعضاء وبناتك سبايا. To cut the long story short, every imam is buried by an imam. Ma'soom is always buried by a ma'soom. Bani Asad had heard this news and they had come when the Ashqiya left Karbala. They had come and they were now standing there. All that was heard at that time was Wa Husayna wa Ghariba. These Banu Asad from Ghadariya, they come stand there, they don't know what to do, and they say, all of a sudden we saw someone come from the side of Kufa. All of a sudden he appeared from nowhere. When he came close and we saw it was our Imam, the son of Hussein, Madlum Hussein, Zayn al-Abidin. And he comes close and close and close, and he puts his lips on the protruding veins of his father, Abu Abdullah. He says, Sallallahu alayka ya Abata. He said he digs a grave for Imam al-Hussein. He digs a grave for Imam al-Hussein. Then he tries to pick the body up. He picks it from one side, the body falls from the other side. He picks from the other side, the body falls from this side. They had to bring the sheet or a mat to collect the pieces from the body of Imam al-Hussein to put on that mat. And he picks the body up. With the help of these people, he lowers the body down in the qabr. Right beside him, he makes the qabr of Ali al-Akbar. On the chest of Imam al-Hussein, the innocent baby, 6 months old baby, lies. On the feet of Imam al-Hussein, they've dug a big hole and buried all the shuhada. And then he walks crying towards the Shatt-Furat. And then he comes across a body that does not have any arms and no head. He comes close. Again, he repeats the same thing. He puts his lips on the veins of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. And he says, على الدنيا بعدك العفا يا عم. There is nothing left for me in this world after you, O uncle. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إلا لله وإنا إليه راجعون رضا بقضائه وتسليما لأمره. ماتم يا حسين.